might as well give you guys a tour of the setup I have for Flower, Blossom and Nora. They live on my big art table, and I've set it up in such a way that they have the small terrarium. This way they have a place where they can dig, and I've got paper bedding down, and they also have a place to sleep. And this is where they have built a really cozy nest, and this is where they usually sleep. And then I've got driftwood so that they can get out, and I've added some dried leaves. They really enjoy dried leaves, and every fall I collect it, dry it, freeze it, and then I have enough to give them for an entire year. And they really love it. And they also really love driftwood. Somebody's demolishing it over here. Very good. Blossom loves driftwood. Hi, Blossom. Hello. Hello, my little fat girl. Hi. So then we have the castle, and this is a wonderful castle. If you ever see it and you have mice, you've got to buy it, because mice just love it. I bought this from Michael's craft store, and unfortunately they don't have an online store, so you have to go to the store in person to buy it. You can buy a similar castle on Amazon, but it's a bit smaller and it's been painted and it's not quite as nice. I bought it just plain wood, and then I added the planks and I just made it look a little bit better. And then I coated it in a water-based paraffin so that it's sealed and easy to clean. And I've had this castle now for, I don't know, 7 years. It's been a long time. That's lasted this long. And then more driftwood. Mice just love driftwood for climbing and chewing. And a wheel. This is the kind of wheel I use. Some people claim that you should only use the solid wheels, but I find that this wheel works really well with mice, and I've never had a problem. Nobody's ever had injured feet, nobody's ever had an injured tail. Everybody's been fine, and I think it's because of the mesh. If it was just the plain rung, like the old-fashioned wheels, then it's dangerous. But this mesh isn't. For hamsters, the solid wheels work better, but that's because hamsters are much cleaner than mice. Mice make a lot of mess on their wheel, and then the solid wheels become very impractical because you're cleaning all the time. Mice also can run a lot faster on these wheels. If they run on a solid wheel, they'll get hurled out of the wheel, whereas here they'll stay put. And I always get the biggest wheel I can so that they can really stretch out and they don't have their backbones bent, which can hurt them in the long run. Never had any problem with bumblefoot. I think that may be more of a problem with hamsters that become obsessive about their wheels, or maybe even mice can get it. I don't know. I've never had it. But then, of course, my mice have all of this, so the wheel is just something extra that is fun, and they're not obsessive about running on the wheel because they have so much else to do. So we never get bumblefoot or anything like that. Hi, Nori. Hello, you having fun? Yeah, nothing quite like a new cage. They just love a new cage. All that excitement, and I try and make it always a little bit different. It's always exciting. But I have left the nest. They seem to be keeping this nest very clean, so I've just left them. And then they've got a place that they can call home. Yeah, she's checking it out. That's one place that didn't change, so that they can feel secure. But everything else has changed quite a lot, and that's exciting to a little mousey. They can go check everything out. And then here is the food bowl, and I use a special. The food that I feed them is a very good quality seed mix by Hagen for mice and rats, and it looks good enough for a human to eat. Miceys love it. Healthiest, of course, would be to feed them the rodent blocks, but they're rather boring. The mice don't really like them, and mousey lives are so short anyways. Mice will give them good quality of life, even if maybe the rodent blocks would let them live maybe a few weeks longer. Quality of life is just too important for mice, so I give them something they really enjoy eating. And they seem to do okay on it. And they're happy mice. Oh, somebody's chewing. This is why they love the driftwood. It's good for their little teeth though. Mice need to always have something to chew on so that they wear their teeth down, because rodents' teeth grow all the time. So it's important to give them something to chew on. And driftwood is perfect. Even though you do need to sterilize it either by baking or by freezing. But they love it. Then I've given them the travel cage as a secondary place to sleep. And that's I do it because then they associate the travel box with home. It's a place of comfort. So if I ever have to take them to the vet, it makes everything a lot less stressful. I also used this to transport them when I was the filmmaker in residence at that heritage building. And it makes everybody feel much more relaxed because they've got a little bit of home with them. So, and then one more thing we have a little water station here. Very important for mice to always have water. And I've added two water dishes, one a bit lower, just because Flower is a little on the beast side, well, very much on the beast side, and that makes it easier for her to drink. So, water station, always have fresh, clean water. Nori's going to come. Hi, Nori, are you going to drink for us? Hey. I was just checking it out, making sure the water is there. It's the same, roughly the same place. I always have the water for them, so they always know where their water station is. I actually found a little bit of sawdust. This new driftwood that I got is actually kind of rotten, so it does drop stuff. But they love it. It's really fun for them to chew it all up, including for little Fatsy. Hello, Fats. Hi, Fats. Oh. So they're living on my big art table, and it works really well. It's a very healthy way to keep mice because the air quality is superb, and they also get to have a ton of space, and you can add lots of enrichment to it. Easy to clean, easy to interact with. It's just a great way to keep mice. Only disadvantage is that it's slightly risky. Most mice will not jump. There's only a very few mice that will be daring enough to jump off a height. So mostly, like, I've kept these guys here for about 2 to 3 months and haven't had any problems. Occasionally you get a mice that will jump, and I have Sally. She was daring and she would deliberately jump. And those mice, of course, you can't keep like this. But the majority you can keep on a table that's at a height. For domesticated mice, this is a great way to keep them. There's a risk, though, if you have a cat in the house, so you have to make sure that the room that has the Mousery is off limits for the cat at all times. But the risk is worth it because, especially with Nora has recurring respiratory problems, and this is the only way I can keep her without her getting sick. As for the bedding, I am using bath mats, and I find they work really well. They have a waterproof underlay, so it keeps everything in the plush. It's really nice on mousy feet. It's very easy to clean. You just put them into the washing machine. They're very sturdy, so they lie flat, and mice tend not to chew on them much, so they last a very long time. Initial cost is a little high, but since you can use them over and over again for several years, then it is actually cheaper than regular bedding, and the mice love it. And I clean them about every 3 or 4 days, basically once it gets really messy. And it's no big deal cleaning, it's really easy. It is November and we have snow, and today is our first really cold day. It's minus 28 Celsius out there, so pretty chilly. November has finally arrived to the Yukon. I've had a surprisingly warm fall. It's been really, really nice, but now the cold weather is starting to hit. Pretty pretty though. The Yukon really is very pretty, but cold in the winter time.